Recipient of the City Council's Spirit of Detroit Award and the Joe Louis Foundation's Spirit of the Champ Award. He was named Wayne State's Alumnus of the Year in 2001, and a Detroit track was named for him. His website is www.alifeontherun.com. That's www.alifeontherun.com. His email is drjohntelfordedd@aol.com. That's drjohntelfordedd@aol.com. If you're listening on a Saturday, you can call into the show now at 313-837-1340. That's 313-837-1340. Now, without further ado, WCHB 1340 proudly presents that crusading old native Detroiter, Detroit's very own Dr. John Telford.
Hi-O Silver. Welcome back to the all-new 1340 AM WCHB, Detroit's Gospel Station, and the John Telford Show. Good fences don't make good neighbors. With compliments to Robert Frost. We don't want Trump's racist wall. We don't want Trump's hater fence. We hope Trump will take a fall, but we also don't want Pence. What we need are friendly bridges instead of Trump's damned border wall. Healthy food inside our fridges, and peace with justice for us all. You know, I had to take that little shot at our false president. Let me also say this. We have a caller already. We have a caller. Okay, caller, you're on the air on the John Telford Show. Caller.
Hi. Good morning. This is April. Miss April calling.
Yes, Miss April. How are you?
Fine.
Okay. Well, I think you're calling because of a program that I have, so we're going to keep you on hold. I'm expecting another call too. But we're going to keep you on hold for a bit, Miss April. And let me say this. I have a vision in my heart, just the way Christina Pert does. Christina Pert is my guest today, and also Lisa Card, and we're going to be talking about some very important things that impact children. I have a vision in my heart and in my spirit and my soul that all the children of Detroit will never have to pay the toll of poverty and ravaged mind, or end up dead or on the dole, but will, through education, find their life-fulfilling future goal. We've had some problems in our city educationally, and that's probably an understatement. But Christina Pert and Lisa Card, welcome to the John Telford Show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, and also April McDaniel.
Yes, and April is on the line. Okay, let me ask you. And Christina, by the way, is a program supervisor in the Detroit Public Schools Community District, and Lisa is a teacher at Osborne High School. So, ladies, anybody wants to chime in and answer this question? How can parents support their children academically?
And thank you. This is Dr. Christina Pert responding. Parent involvement in education correlates with higher academic performance and school improvement and prevents dropouts. So the first thing that parents can do is become involved and aware of what your children are doing in school. You have to communicate with the teacher and know what's going on. And if you feel that you need extra support, all schools have parent groups that can help you, that can support you to support your children academically. So it's very important that parents understand what are your children trying to accomplish, what are their goals. So once you know that, you can put them on track to accomplish their goals.
Okay, April or Lisa, would you like to also chime in?
Just want to add that communication, of course, is very important in supporting your children, because we have to communicate with our kids and understand how they feel. We want to know how they feel when and if they're struggling at the time. So I'm very big on communication.
And interacting with parents, you know, it's so important to involve parents in every way in their children's education. I've seen too many times, and not just in DPS, but in other districts where I have worked, the parents were not always welcomed by principals to the extent that they should be, because sometimes they were critical of what was happening in the school, and the principal would be insecure about that. But it's very important that that principals have a very welcoming, open door for the parents. Let me ask this: how can parents effectively communicate with teachers and with principals? Because sometimes the principal is the person that's blocking the door there.
If I can take that, this is Lisa Card responding. I'm very big on communicating with my children's teacher. I email probably 3 to 4 times a week. I have cell phone numbers, and then I make myself present in the building. I'm visible, you know, but definitely, like I said, with the emails, I email because I can't be there all day, of course, because of my own job. But again, emails, that's public information, so you can definitely find out the emails of your child's teacher and just build a rapport, you know, get the telephone numbers, visit if you're able to. A lot of teachers stay after school, so you're able to interact with them after school, find out their times, the times that they're available, the times that they offer tutoring, and that's about it.
Yeah, I can remember, you know, and of course I'm a bit of an old horse, but I've been around a ways for a long time, being, you know, in my 9th decade on this planet. I can remember when I was at Finney, and that's fairly recently, you know, I helped Al Ward run the school over there between 2003 and 2008. And sometimes we would actually have parents coming in wanting to fight the teachers, you know, or fight a student who had done something, you know, to their child. And I can remember way back at Butzel Junior High School, this isn't anything new, you know, back in Butzel Junior High School when I was an administrator there in the late 1960s. One time I had to lock a teacher in a big closet. It had a switch where you can turn a light on, because there was a lady, I had been tipped off, a lady was coming with her 2 big sons, and they wanted to beat her up. I mean, you know, these are stories that don't always get told in education, and situations like this aren't things that they teach us how to handle in Education 101. But relationships between staff and parents are very, very important.
Absolutely.
We must never forget that the parents are the taxpayers. You know, they are our clients. We are serving them, and of course, their children. Okay, let me ask this.
I agree, Dr. Telford, but I just want to address that as well.
Okay.
Right now, schools have an open door policy where parents can come in and address any concerns that they have. However, they cannot interrupt instruction. It has to be they have to come in at an appropriate time. And I agree with you. Relationship building is very important, because the staff at schools, all they want to do is basically
Just April on the line.
So that children can be so that children can achieve academic success. So it's very important that parents be willing to listen. I know we all get a little frustrated when we hear something is concerning that happens to our children, but however, parents have to know that when you come in, the school is there to listen to your concerns and that they will support you, and just be willing to listen so they can understand how they can support their child academically as well as their social needs.
Okay. Well, you know, Dr. Pert, should I call you Dr. Pert or Christina? I'm always
Whatever
calling
you feel
Christina.
comfortable with.
Okay, I'll call you Christina. That's absolutely true. Parents do have to listen. But, I mean, we also have to listen to parents,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
And I'm looking for my advertiser. Where is Gloria Cunningham? I don't see her. If she doesn't come in here pretty quick, I'm going to be playing her tape. But while we're waiting for Gloria, I'm going to ask another question. No, is she here? She's not here. Okay. Let me ask this question.
April is on the line, and she's going to answer this question.
Okay, April, you answer this question. What can parents do when their child is struggling academically?
Yes, hi. So as a parent, you are your child's first and most important teacher. When parents and families are involved in their children's school, the children do better and have better feelings about school overall. There's been studies that show that what families do for their children in school proves more success, and there are many ways that parents can support their children. So one method we can use, as parents, we can use to support our children is meeting our child's teacher. Of course, we already discussed getting involved with the school, attend parent-teacher conferences, make sure your child gets their homework done, set routines and protocols.
Homework is very important, too. I see. I don't think there's a whole lot of homework assigning going on right now from some of the things that I'm hearing in the schools.
Yeah, as a teacher, a lot of times we do assign homework. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes the students are able to stay after school to finish the homework. So therefore, that eliminates sometimes the portion where the parent is able to assist the student with their homework. I know that from coming from a high school perspective. I'm not sure what's the protocol for elementary school, but I know when my sons were in elementary school, I was able to assist them with their homework so they know when they get home, put the book bags up, electronics, maybe we can have a snack, watching TV, but we knew automatically that was homework time.
That's good. That's good. And, I have to go to commercials now, but when we come back, we're going to be talking more with Lisa Card and Dr. Christina Pert about how parents can be interacted with in a positive way in DPSCD. So this is Gloria Cunningham with our commercials.
Well, great God's morning to all you 1340 listeners. Call us up with your questions or comments at 837-1340. The Dr. John Telford Show is brought to you by the Detroit Native Sun newspaper, where you can find Dr. Telford's Telescope column. You can pick up a free copy at Burt's in the Eastern Market District or at Greenfield Market on Puritan and Greenfield, by V's Boutique for Ladies in the River House at 8900 East Jefferson, where Telford also resides, by Writing It Right for You, by Michigan Chronicle at 963-5522, by Source Booksellers at 4240 Cass Avenue. Call them at 832-1155. By Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. Just simply type in Dr. John Telford. They're great gifts for scholars or wannabes. Urban Teen Edition is underway. You can still pick up the current copy at Urban Soul Restaurant at East Lafayette next to Chrysler Elementary School in downtown Detroit. Now back to the devastatingly dashing, excitingly excellent, monumentally moving Dr. John Telford and his invitingly informative show. Take it away, Doc.
Thank you, Gloria, and I don't pay her to say that. As I mentioned, also I'm looking. The call-in number is 837-1340, 313-837-1340, and there was a young lady named Cheyenne from Cass Technical High School. Cheyenne Loper was supposed to be calling in and reading her poem. I don't know if has she called in yet, Jake? No, maybe she forgot. Okay, anyway, I was giving her that opportunity. I went over and did a poetry reading at Cass Tech this past Tuesday, and boy, the kids were just wonderful. There are a couple hundred of them in there, and they were just so polite and attentive. Oh, maybe we've got that call now. I just saw my engineer answer the phone, so I'm presuming that this may be young Miss Loper. Miss Loper, you're on the air. You're on the air, Cheyenne. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, kid, let's have that poem that you just wrote.
Okay, do I state my school?
I already did. I said you're calling in from Cass Technical High School.
Oh.
Go ahead, honey. Read your poem.
Okay. Why do we fight? Why should we have to raise signs and risk our lives for the better times? Why is it so hard to do what's right? Why do we fight? No one can tell me it's because of the skin colors, black and white. It's a mindset that came from somewhere I do not know. We must grow. If we must fight for what's right, then let it be so. Peace and harmony is something the entire world should know.
Cheyenne, you said a mouthful. You got that right. Listeners, you were listening to Cheyenne Loper, student extraordinaire at Cass Technical High School in Detroit. Thank you, Cheyenne, for that poem.
Beautiful poem.
You're welcome.
That was really
Beautiful
nice.
poem.
Everyone's impressed with you, Cheyenne.
Yes.
Keep writing, kid, and send me more poems, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Cheyenne. Your principal will be proud. And Coach Coach Wilcher, the great trackman, Thomas Wilcher will be proud. Lauren Kazin, your assistant principal, will be proud. Everybody over at Cass Tech will be very proud of you, Cheyenne. Okay. We have in the studio Lisa Card from Osborne High School and Dr. Christina Pert, who is the program supervisor for the schools in DPSCD, and she also is the daughter of Ronald Pert, the great Ron Pert, whom I worked with when I was the executive director of the Southwest area back, 2000, 2001. And we've lost Ron Pert. A terrible loss for humanity, a terrible loss for the schools. He recently passed. I did a tribute to him on the air when he did pass, and I'm giving him a shout out again. I know that Ron's up there listening somewhere because his daughter is on the show right now, and she's speaking out how to interact with parents. His daughter is Dr. Christina Pert, the program supervisor and DPSCD. So Christina, Lisa, April, if you're still on the line, I have another question for you to endeavor to ask. And here is the question. What can parents do when their child is struggling academically? Any one of you guys want to chime in?
Oh, absolutely. When parents know that their child is struggling academically, they can go up to the school and they can obtain feedback from the teacher. And they can reflect on the feedback and put a plan together. The parent and the teacher can collaborate along with the student involved so that they can help assist that student achieve academic success. What they want to do is they want to find out what areas are the students struggling in and also what are their strengths. So that way they can be able to put a plan together so that they can provide strategies to help their child academically succeed.
Mm-hmm. You can also ask the teacher how well your child is doing in class compared to the other students. If your child is not keeping up, especially when it comes to reading, ask what you can do to help support your child. So you can have a conversation with the teacher as well as have a conversation with your child to ensure that they are comprehending and what you can do to help support that child. I think conversations with the child is important because sometimes we oftentimes overlook our children, but we have to listen to them in order to help guide them.
And then I wanted to add...
And that was April talking, by the way. April, state your name again.
Oh, yeah, so it's April McDaniel.
April McDaniel speaking, she's on the line. Christina, you were going to say?
No.
I'm sorry. This is Lisa Carr responding.
Okay.
I don't know if we said anything about the tutorial services, but a lot of schools offer tutoring, after-school tutoring again. And I know sometimes there are these outside agencies that offer tutoring where parents have to pay for tutoring services. But I'm very big on saving money, and so that's why we have to communicate with the schools and figure out what's being offered for free.
And also, when we're talking about parents, we should make it known that the school district is looking for volunteers to help with the reading program. The Let's Read reading program of DPSCD is a very important adjunct to the academic program because we've got a circumstance right now whereby if our third graders in the year 2020, that's only 1 year away, can't pass a test, they're going to be forced to repeat the third grade. Now, that's a process that educators in Detroit, including me, do not support, but it's something that's been imposed upon us by the Republican legislature and Betsy DeVos and some of those other folks who want to see everything chartered in the city of Detroit. So if you are interested in volunteering to join the Let's Read program of the Detroit Public Schools Community District, ladies, do you know who you should get in touch with? Do you have a number for that? I kind of sprang that on you. I don't know if you have it.
No, I don't know the number by heart, but they can get in contact with the curriculum department.
What's the number of the curriculum department?
I'll have that for you shortly.
Okay, well, listen, let me tell you this, listeners. Helen Moore's number, 934-7721. She's actually the lady that started up this Let's Read program, 934-7721. You call her and tell her that you want to volunteer. She will send you into the right direction right away. Helen Moore, 934-7721. Because this was her baby. This program actually was hers, and then DPSCD has adopted and adapted it, which is a great thing. But know too that this program, good as it is not probably going to be sufficient to get those kids reading at the appropriate level by 2020. So Gretchen Whitmer, if you're listening, or if any of your people are listening, and I'll probably be sending you this videotape, just to jog your memory a little bit, that you did promise that you would be working with the legislator to make sure that we're not punishing the third graders in the city of Detroit and making them repeat that grade, because it's not their fault if they don't repeat the grade. It's our fault. We're the educators. We're the adults. We got to make sure that those kids have got an appropriate program. There's a program called Quick to Learn when I was superintendent. And I tried very hard to get the emergency financial manager to go along with it. That was Roy Roberts at the time, who later became a very good friend of mine, by the way. But I was fighting with him all the time when I was superintendent. And the Quick to Learn program was field tested. It was research based. It was phonics based, and the program was a very successful program if the emergency financial manager had implemented that program. The kids would not be in any trouble now. But unfortunately, that did not happen. For some reason or other, I tried to get Dr. Vitti to get the program going, and he didn't do it either. So now we're kind of up against the wall, and we must not make those third graders repeat the third grade. We've got to get these kids reading at and above grade level. You know, when you look back when they first took us over in 1999, the state took us over in 1999. You know, a lot of people forget, but the school district had a $125 million surplus, and the student test scores were at the state midpoint and rising. They were at the state midpoint and rising. You know, if something isn't broke, don't fix it. You know, but what happened? The state came in. We had a superb superintendent, Dr. Eddie Green. That was way before my time, and the school district was flourishing. Now here we are, 2 decades later, and the test scores are the worst in the country in DPSCD. Not the fault of the educators, the fault of Lansing. You know, Lansing did that to us, and the only.
I can say.
Go ahead.
Dr. Telford. I can say also with the EAA, we can point out the schools that are with the EAA. When they were the school were consolidated with the EAA system, and then when they were brought back, they are actually performing worse than they were.
Oh yeah. The EAA scores were the only scores in the country that were worse than DPS. They were actually, you know, the EAA tried to hire me. They tried to get me away from the superintendency because I was doing the job pro bono, and they figured no one else would be crazy enough to do it. So they took me and my wife into this. Are we running out of time?
90 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, listeners, this is a very important topic that we have been discussing today on the John Telford Show. We've had Dr. Christina Pert. We've had Lisa Card from Osborne High School. And of course Gloria Cunningham, who was notably silent today. Usually she's always chiming in, but she's chiming in right now. I got. Go ahead, chime in.
No,
what were you going to say?
I'm fine. Nothing more. Just my silliness.
Yeah, she couldn't think of anything to say. But anyway, this is a very key topic. Parental relationships are key to the improvement of DPSCD and building relationships between not only teachers and parents but principals and parents, because that has been my experience sometimes where there was something lacking because the principals didn't always want to involve the parents, but the parents are our stakeholders. So, listeners, you've been listening to the John Telford Show on WCHB. I'm going to replay, if you didn't hear this whole program, I'm going to replay it Monday night at 6:30 on WCHB 1340 AM. Thank you for listening.
You've been listening to the John Telford Show, coming to you live on Saturday mornings at 9:30 and Monday evenings at 6:30. That's Saturdays at 9:30 live and Mondays at 6:30 on tape. Contact Dr. Telford at 313-460-8272. That's 313-460-8272 to sponsor or appear on his show, or to get his best-selling books, which Huel Perkins, Jeffrey Feiger, Dennis Archer, and the Detroit Free Press have all called spellbinding and sensational. Also, it was the world-renowned Dr. Wayne Dyer who once wrote, "John Telford has a warrior's heart and a poet's soul." Read Dr. Telford's commentaries on the schools in the Detroit Native Sun and the Michigan Chronicle. And be sure to tune in again at 9:30 a.m. Saturdays or 6:30 p.m. Mondays to hear the John Telford Show on WCHB 1340, your community ministry station. Because you can never tell what the extremely outspoken Dr. John Telford will say next week on the John Telford Show.